Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Drive Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We'll get you out here before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets for the primetime games. And that's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Silver Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. Remember those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place. So let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, Chris Willa with us. Matt Fargo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Wayne, Scott, and Rod Zawacki. You'll see the lineup right here from Ruffalo, Mitch, Fargo, Scott, Zawacki. Then I will close this one out. About 8 games on the board for Major League Baseball here remaining. And of course, we'll get this one, just get the show underway. Let's welcome in Chris Ruffalo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Also contributes on the website with lots of free picks and content for you. So let's get Chris here ready to roll to start the drive through here for a Wednesday. Let's get him in right now. Chris, what's happening?
Oh, Tony, all's right in the world. The Mariners are continuing to struggle. Watching this fall apart. It is a wonderful Wednesday afternoon. How are you doing?
Yes, Wednesday afternoon indeed. And of course, the Astros looking to run it up a little bit here against the amazing A's. Playing like amazing A's with those bats. But there's signs of it. You're not going to run good every game.
Now, this is true. It's, we talk about the dog days of summer. Teams are going to run hot and cold as it's a 162-game schedule. So, it was just the A's time. Now we're going to see if that carries over into this weekend series rematch against the Angels.
Yeah, we'll see how that rolls here. We'll start off here with the Rays and Blue Jays head-to-head here. We see the Rays favored $1.16 on the road, total coming in 8.
Yeah, and people who've watched the drive-thru, watched the morning show, our videos at Pick Dawgz know that I am highly critical of my Toronto Blue Jays. However, when Jay and I were talking about this series yesterday or the day before, I was saying this is what I feel is the Blue Jays' best chance to win in this series. You got Zach Eflin pitching, and the story with Zach Eflin has been the same since he debuted with the Rays last season. He is great at Tropicana Field, but on the road is where he struggles, and the last month and a half has been a perfect example of that. In his last 4 starts, Zach Eflin, a 6.75 ERA. He's given up at least 4 runs in each of his last 4 road starts. And the Tampa Bay Rays, for a team that we know has historically hit right-handed pitching fairly well, in the month of July, just outside the bottom 5 in baseball in team OPS against right-handed pitching, hitting just 209. I believe that puts him second worst in baseball. I think Yariel Rodriguez could have a solid start, especially he's probably going to have to eat up some innings if the Jays start offloading pieces in the coming days with the trade deadline just around the corner. So I'm going to go with the Blue Jays here. I think they can salvage something from this series. Like I said, for me, it is the best chance for them to get a W in this set.
Yeah, Blue Jays are the underdog here at plus 106 here against the Rays. So that'll change here in just a second. Speaking of underdog, man, what's going on with Blue Jays as a underdog, man? It's just been rough for them. 14-32 this year, dropping 15 units. But you find this, again, this is a spot you're looking for them to go, that they'll come through.
Yeah, like I said, I looked at the pitching mashups, and tomorrow you got Chris Bassett and Taj Bradley, and with how well Bradley's pitched, for me, like I said, this just sets up, I think, as the perfect storm where Eflin's had major issues on the road, regardless of who he's been up against. And he's already had issues against the Blue Jays as well this season. I mean, we saw in Toronto, gave up 4 runs in 6 innings of work on May 18th. At home on opening day, he gave up 6 runs on 6 hits, 3 home runs as well. So he's had issues with the Blue Jays, and to me, like I said, just sets up as the perfect storm. I like what I've seen from Yariel Rodriguez. Is the Blue Jays bullpen the most trustworthy? No, but I do think that the bullpen can at least do enough. It's starting to get healthy again. You got Jimmy Garcia coming back, Jordan Romano scheduled to come back soon, and like I said, the Rays bullpen for me just has not been good enough to offset the damage that I think that Eflin can do. So that's why I'm taking the Jays here.
All right, Chris here on the Blue Jays here. The plus price, plus 106 against the Rays tonight, top of the hour. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dawgz for tonight's action. Of course, about 8 games on the board here from Major League Baseball. What do you have going over at the site on Christmas, July?
I got just my $19 pickoff play still on the board. If you hop on a yearly pass, like Tony was saying, you get a heavily discounted price on it. You also get a yearly consensus report to match the duration of that pass. But use the promo code PICK at checkout for an additional 15% off of your total purchase at Pick Dawgz Premium.
There you go, guys. Got on board with Chris over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Christmas in July. Way to roll here. And use that promo code, as he mentioned, PICK at checkout. All right, Chris, as always, great having you show. Of course, we know a lot's going on over at Pick Dawgz. So you produce a lot of content with your daily picks as well as the morning show.
Yeah, tons going on right now. We got the Olympic breaks, the WNBA takes a break, but the dog days of summer, like I said, it's still going on. And I was saying with you, Tony, a couple weeks ago, you blink and all of a sudden football season is back. So we've got the Hall of Fame game coming up, college football's coming up at the end of next month, and then we start the whole cycle again. So I'm looking forward to it.
Training camp starts tomorrow. Already started for teams over the weekend. Saturday, I believe the Bears broke into camp. So I know the Rams are starting camp here. So tomorrow, I believe. But yeah, lots going on here in football. We'll keep you covered here on the Drive Thru and all over Pick Dawgz. All right, Chris, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
Okay, so Christopher Lowe here on the Drive Thru. Let's continue here on the Drive Thru. Well, it's Wednesday. It's time to bring in Mitch. You'll catch him over at Pick Dawgz Premium. Catch him on the morning shows as well. Bring him in, ready to roll. Mitch, what's going on?
Nothing much, just a Wednesday full of baseball and everything else that's going on.
That's right. There's no doubt about that. Looks like we're into football next week with Hall of Fame game. Of course, as we know, we've talked about preseason before, but we'll wait for next week for that. But we go to baseball here. Orioles here on the road against the Marlins. This Orioles team, looking to improve here since the break. We've got the Orioles here laying $1.34. Total sits at 8.
Yeah, for me, it's just the Orioles have just been terrible against the Marlins, and that's just the way that it's been. And what we've seen in a lot of these situations is these odd trends. They just do nothing but continue. We saw, the Red Sox, who'd been horrible on the road against the National League West, get pounded today by the Rockies. We saw the Orioles get pretty much beaten up on last night by the Marlins. I think they're set up for another bad day at the office. I mean, the Marlins don't back down against the good teams, and I don't expect them to back down here. There's not a lot in the numbers that are going to say Marlins, but the win-loss column in the head-to-head is what says it for me. And the Orioles look like anything but a sure thing these days.
Yeah, that's right. Really rough series here for Baltimore here as Mitch will be on the Marlins here at plus the price in this spot. Cabrera on the mound. I don't know what's making noise here with my phone, but what's your take here on Chase McDermott down at Ball State here getting the start for Baltimore?
Yeah, it's just, the Orioles are kind of just looking to find some answers. A lot of teams are doing this, and we're going to be seeing a lot of pitchers, a lot of TBDs coming up. He pitched in Norfolk, AAA. He was their second-ranked pitching prospect for Baltimore. Last year they brought up Grayson Rodriguez. He wasn't even their top prospect. He's been decent. I think he's a little bit overrated in my book, Grayson Rodriguez. But we'll see if McDermott can do anything more. The thing is, Cabrera, who goes for the Marlins, this guy has the ability to throw a no-hitter at any given moment.
There you go. Mitch here on the Marlins here at that price you see at the plus 128. We'll just go over some of the games tonight. Here we see game one of this doubleheader. Reds getting the win 9-4 on the Braves.
The Reds just jumped on them early, and it was over before it started. They've done that to the Braves a couple times already. They just get out early, and that's game one of a doubleheader. We'll see what happens in game two.
All right, continuing on here. Pirates 5-0 here against the Cardinals.
Cardinals just couldn't get out of the box either. This game was 0-0. I look up, and it's 5-0. It was 4-0, and then just a solo shot home run. Not a lot of action in that game, but it all happened in bunches.
Phillies and Twins. It's the Twins as an underdog here getting the win 5-4.
Yeah, the Phillies, one of the runaway divisions in baseball. Trying to make it interesting, somehow. And Aaron Nola, no surprise, once again getting hit, just pretty much the way his career has gone in the second half of the season. I think, we see a lot of these teams, playoff races going on, and, with the expanded wild card, a lot of teams still thinking that they're in it. And the Pirates are, going back to the last game, are one of those teams,
Yeah,
they're in it.
They're
you
definitely
go to a 3-man rotation with them, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
The other side of it.
No doubt about that. Those mini-series, those short series to start it off. Brewers and Cubs. The Brewers edge the Cubs here 3-2.
Yeah, the Cubs just absolutely suck. There's no other way around it. Craig Counsell could be the worst manager in baseball. He's certainly in the discussion, him and Aaron Boone. I think that, I'll just blame it all on counsel on that one. I think when you have tight games like that, your manager's got to win you 4 or 5 or 10 of those a year. A good manager's worth 10 wins a year. A bad one's worth 10 losses, and I think counsel's at probably 20 already. It stinks.
We've talked about this earlier. Red Sox and Rockies. This one now final. Rockies pound the Red Sox.
Yeah, the Rockies, they get into these late season home games, and all of a sudden, they become a different team. The Red Sox really not liking playing these National League West teams on the road, getting beat up by the Dodgers, and now losing 2-3 in Colorado.
That was a pounding there. End of the 8th here, top of the 9th now. We got Astros and Athletics. Astros getting the better of them now, 8-1.
Yeah, Astros' last game in Oakland ever. So at least unless Oakland ever gets another team in the future. So a lot of tearful goodbyes there from some of the Astros players who, of course, came up through the A's organization, as a lot of players in baseball did. Thing is you can beat a team like the Astros a few times. They could come in cold and you can get hot on them, but you're not going to sweep them. If you're the Oakland A's, it's just not going to happen.
No, not at all. And of course, the Angels and Mariners here. I think this one here is 2-1 now. Angels now just taking lead 2-1 here as the Angels get it done.
I said it a few months ago. I'll continue to say it. The Seattle Mariners will not be part of the postseason this year in Major League Baseball. You can't win games scoring 0 and 1 runs. You just can't win enough. You'll win a game here or there, but scoring 1. But you're not gonna score enough. I mean, if you're not gonna put runs on the board against Griffin Canning at home, your things are not good. They're not in first place anymore. The Astros, gave them a little bit of a chance with these games in Oakland to get back into it. But here it comes. Yeah, we got a broken doorbell. It's playing Jingle Bells.
Oh, no.
That's our doorbell.
Yeah,
the batteries went out on the doorbell. I changed them to get the doorbell to work again. But now it plays a different song every time someone hits the doorbell. So we're in the Christmas music phase there. And so it's Jingle Bells. Nice.
Nice there. All right. Postponed. Looks like we got this one postponed. Game 2, Reds and Braves. And that leads off to the Orioles and Marlins. And Mitch here on the Marlins here at the Big Plus Prize. All right, Mitch, let me know what's going on over at Pick Dawgz Sports Chat Places. We're in the middle of the summer. Again, preseason football just about a week away.
We're still actually. I was hoping to have the new sites released by the All-Star break, but that just didn't happen, and it's not going to happen. Probably for at least another week, if not 2 weeks. So we just want to get it right and get that down. We're working with a lot of things with Tony's site, Tony's Picks. We have a few other things in the pipeline as well. And I'll be, as the stuff gets released, we'll make announcements about it. But in the meantime, we're going to stay the course with baseball. We have the Olympics coming up. I don't know. We'll cover it on the free site. I don't know if any of the guys are going to have premium picks on Olympics or not. But I guess we could if they wanted to. And then, before you know it, next Wednesday when I'm on the show, we'll be talking NFL preview. I did notice at the magazine store, I went to Barnes & Noble today, and I did notice that, boy, it's pretty light to get college football magazines. And I don't know if it's just the Barnes & Noble I went to, but, man, the pickings were slim, a lot slimmer than normal. I got, I think, Athlons and Phil Steele, and that was all they had. And then they had a lot of fantasy football magazines.
Yes.
A lot of fantasy football. No NFL preview magazines.
None yet.
Barnes & Noble. I'm gonna. Tomorrow we're supposed to pick someone up at the airport. That's usually a great place to get magazines.
That is.
We'll probably hit the magazine store there tomorrow.
And then, of course, you got the Phil Steele going through that and getting ready here for college football. It should be an exciting season.
Phil Steele is good. He gets a little deep for me,
Yeah.
He's a little technical for me, but he does have a lot of things that I like to look for. One of the things that he really shows you is the teams that had the most turnovers, that got the most turnovers last year, the teams that didn't get the most. And I'm going to guess he takes a good look at the transfer portal. So these are the things that we really need to focus in on. Of course, I'm real excited about my Miami Hurricanes this season.
For me, I just like to look at experience on the offensive and defensive lines. I mean, that's the
Miami is an NFL offensive line. They've been building it for a while, and with the recruits coming in next year, it's only looking better.
I'm interested to see how USC handles the lines here from the Big Ten teams. This is something I'm interested to look at. It might force them to give
also has
attention.
a good defensive line. I mean, they had a few transfers on the defensive line because guys they knew they weren't going to get on the field.
What's your thoughts on this ACC conference? People seem to be poo-pooing this conference. What's your thoughts on this one?
Well, they're going to get a bid in the playoffs, so they're going to have a chance. I think that people forget just how cyclical conferences can be when it comes to these championship games. If you go back over the last 15 years, so we're not like talking like 100 years ago or anything like that. The ACC has more national titles than Big Ten. They have more national titles in the last 10 years than the Big Ten too, and they also have, they also have more wins in the playoffs than the Big Ten too. And I think that when it comes to playoffs, the ACC has easily been the second best conference, and it's not even really all that close, between them and the Big Ten. The Big Ten went through a 4-year span where they didn't score a point in the playoffs, including Ohio State getting shut out, Michigan State getting shut out, and meanwhile Clemson won a pair of national titles, beat Nick Saban on the biggest stage out there. Also, Florida State, Jimbo Fisher won a national title as well. They also made it to the title game with Jameis Winston, losing to Ohio. They also made it to the playoffs. I don't think they made it to the title game. And they made it to the playoffs that year as well. So, the ACC is a good conference. It's underrated, and like I said, about my Miami Hurricanes, it just took us a couple of years to figure this image licensing out. It took us a couple of years. When it came to paying players, we're the best at it, right? I mean, we invented it. And it's like, well, we might not have invented it, but we perfected it. And the thing is that now it took us a couple of years with the legal system and the legal money coming in with the image licensing. But when you see Cam Ward transferring in, when you see Rodriguez, coming in from Oregon State, when you see these big name players, and you look at the top 25 to 50 recruits in the ESPN top 300, and you see all those Miamis next to them, you say, these guys have figured it out. Look out, because Miami has the hottest recruiting talent in the country. And for many years, Alabama came in and LSU came in and Ohio State came in and took a lot of those players away from Miami. Miami lost a lot of those recruiting battles, but they're not losing them anymore. And, I knew the writing was on the wall for the Hurricanes. People were like, oh, the team's been bad or whatever. Yeah. Because we lost Amari Cooper on signing day to Alabama. Yeah. We lost Patrick Peterson on signing day to LSU. These weren't just run-of-the-mill guys, These were our guy of our class, the best guy in our class. We've lost him on signing day, and now this year it's the opposite. They're the ones doing the stealing from Ohio State and from Alabama, and they're the ones who are signing the big names. And you look at the ESPN Top 300, you'll see it. A lot of Miami's in there, and a lot of them, like Tony said, key positions on the offensive line.
Yep.
350-pounders.
Yeah. To me, that offensive line with the training camp on here for the Chargers. We just saw Harbaugh with his press conference. What's your thoughts here, Harbaugh, now with the Chargers? How do you see them coming into the season?
Well, anytime they're laying any kind of points, we're going to be fading, and we all remember that when he turned down the holding call in the end zone, where he could have got the safety and the cover and ended up not taking the penalty. I think they took a knee or something or punted or something or ran out the clock. I don't remember how it went, but I just know I got the cover with the other team in a game that I had no business covering. And so Jim Harbaugh, he doesn't care about the point spread. And, he won one national championship in Michigan, so you can't say he's never won at any level anymore. But let's just say he's had a lot of chances, a lot of chances. So we'll see how it pans out. NFL is a lot harder than college, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, Mitch, as always, great having your show. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks everyone for joining us, and thanks everyone for supporting us here at Pick Dawgz. Remember to take advantage of our Christmas in July specials, running through the end of July. And anyone that buys a Christmas in July yearly package special, I will throw in a free yearly consensus report to go along with it. Shoot me an email, mitch@pickdawgz.com.
There you go. All right, Mitch, have a great night. Mitch here on the drive-through. All right, let's continue here on the show. Up next here, we'll bring in Matt Fargo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dawgz. We'll bring Matt in right now. More baseball coverage here on the show. Matt, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How are we doing today?
Doing great. All right, here we go. Looks like a close line here between the Padres and Nationals. We see the Padres still short favorite, $1.06, total 8.5.
Yeah, we got a decent pitching matchup tonight. Matt Waldron with a 3.59 ERA, 1.16 whip through 20 starts. He only has 5 wins. He's had some bad luck, poor run support. Goes against Mitchell Parker, who's been pretty decent as well with a 3.9 ERA and 17 starts. And he as well, he's got some poor run support. So I think this comes down to the offenses. And the Padres have been one of the best on the road this season. They're number 1 in average, number 7 in OPS, number 9 in slugging. And while they're okay against lefties, they're 16-17, which isn't horrible. Washington, on the other hand, is number 23 in home OPS, number 24 in home slugging. And against righties, they have 31 wins against starters, which is tied for third fewest in the National League. Short price for the Padres. And I think this is a good chance for them to come out of here with a sweep. Tomorrow they have Cease against Corbin, who's trash. And it's all games are big right now with the wild card race. I believe it's a 16 race. 3 games up, taking them probably 2 or 3 games. It's really close. And nevertheless, each game is big. But the games that they have to win, they know they have to win because they have Baltimore on deck this coming weekend. So they'd love to get out of here with a sweep, go in with a 5-game winning streak, and carry that momentum to Baltimore for the weekend. So I like the short price here with the Padres.
Short price for the Padres, says Matt here. Now down to 106. We've seen a move here from $1.20. Of course, maybe because of the lefty on the mound here for Washington.
Yeah, it could be. The Padres are lower half against lefties this season. With Tatis out, it definitely hurts the offense, but just the way they've been hitting the ball. The last 3 games, the pitching has been great. Bullpen's been great. They've allowed 1 runner the last 3 games. I think the pitching holds up today. Waller's been really good. He's just had some bad luck. It has been the story for him. And like I said, the bullpen's been good. Washington, you can't trust their offense. They'll have their moments, but I like the Padres' offense better for sure.
And Washington 7 games under 500, kind of a team you like with the plus. To me, I like them plus 150 or greater. Almost a play automatic.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. You get a team like this that's kind of, I don't want to say tanky, but they're done. They might be selling, who knows. But if you give them at a big price, those are the teams you have to take a chance on, just like we did with the Rockies last week.
Yeah.
Against, I forget who they were playing, but they were plus 148 or something like that. Those are the prices you have to take. When they're this short, no interest in that.
No. It's funny because with the Rockies, a team that you see them, they go on the road, they go 1-9 or 2-8, and everyone's down on them, and they get the great prices at home when they get back home from the road trip.
Yeah, exactly. I had them 2 nights ago against Boston. The game went either 11 or 12 innings. It was a sweat. Like, it was 5-5, then it was 6-6, 7-7, and like, oh my God, come on, Colorado, let's get it done here. They finally did get it done, but that was a good price, and that was an absolute take in a game like that, especially with Boston coming off a sweeping the Dodgers. They were just down on themselves or whatever. And like Mitch said earlier, they just don't like going out west on these road games.
Yep, no doubt about that. All right, Padres, a play here from Matt tonight. All right, let's take a look over at Pick Dawgz for tonight's action. Of course, baseball on the board, about 7 games. We've got to rain out with that. Looks like game 2 rained out with Atlanta and Cincinnati. What do you have going over at Pick Dawgz for you?
I have a 3-game package going tonight. 3-game double play, looking for the sweep. Also looking for some weekend CFL coming up. We're on a 4-1 run since Sunday in baseball, and Hall of Fame game is up next Thursday. So NFL preseason on the way, get a long-term pass, and let's carry this over into August and win some money through football season.
That's right, guys. Got a board with Matt Fargo over at Pick Dawgz. Good results the last 7 days. Christmas in July. Save on the 1-year All Sports Pass. Pick as a promo code. Save that 15% off. All right, Matt, as always, great having you on the show. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks, Tony. Good to talk to you, bud.
You as well. Matt Fargo here on the drive to. Let's continue here on the show. Up next, we got Wayne Scott. You can catch him over at Pick Dawgz. We'll bring Wayne in right now. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? Everything's good with me. I hope everything's going good with you today.
Yep, everything's going great. Here we go. These division rivals meet here. Guardians and the Tigers. We see the Guardians will be favored about $1.34 here. Total sits at 7, starting in about 10 minutes.
Back to Mungo, divisional game right here. And Tigers look to get some revenge after losing yesterday. Tigers hitting at about a 54% clip. Coming off a loss, we got Cleveland 3-7, kind of falling from grace after having an outstanding season so far. They're also not playing well at home after having an outstanding home record, 32-14 at home and 30-11 as home favorites, hitting at about 73% clip, but only 5-5 in their last 10 at home, around 50%. On the other side of that, Tigers 7-3 in their last 10 road game. They're almost a 500 team while almost being a 500 team on the road. Tanner Beebe's one of my guys, one of the guys I've been backing majority of the season. In day games, he's smoking hot, hasn't lost yet. But in night games, just 4-5, I believe. 5-4. And he's been regressing. Haven't liked what I've seen from him. Until he starts to play better, I can't lay minus 135, minus 140 with BB playing like this. When the Tigers are the hotter team and they have Flaherty on the mound, 4-1, who's been hot himself right now. His night road splits is where he plays best at. Both of these pitchers are right-handed pitchers. Both of these teams hit right-handed pretty evenly, but as of lately, last 10, Guardians only hit right-handed pitchers 190. That kind of scares me with how good Flaherty has been. Like I said, I'm continue to say Lane Juice in a situation like that is just somewhere I don't want to be. On the other side of that, the Tigers hitting 261 in their last 10 against right-handed pitcher. As I continue to pound this in you guys' head, Tanner BB is not playing well right now. We got a team that's hitting righties good. We got a team who has the momentum playing well, 7-3 in their last 10 and 7-3 in their last 10 on the road. I'm going to ride the Tigers here and go for this plus money in this spot.
Yeah, hard to argue that one. The way the both teams, one team hitting, one team's not. Guardians going through a bit of a down spell. He had to get the win yesterday, but let's see if they can run wins together. That's the big question mark, whether or not they can do that. The Tigers has been a team off since the break, actually heading to the break, hitting the baseball.
No, most definitely have been getting the bats going. One thing about the Tigers, we know they got the pitching. Bullpen can be better. They've been slowly bringing that ERA down, playing better, but it's not where you like an elite ERA coming out of that bullpen, but it's been getting better. But one thing the Tigers have is good pitching from top to bottom pretty much. So if they can bring them bats together, they definitely can compete. 500 team, getting prices like this at 500 is always going to get you on the positive side when it comes to betting. Cleveland, I can't really bash them too much, although they've been cooling down lately. It's just the spot, the way BB's been playing, the way the bats have. I can't take them as a favorite in this spot right here.
All right, there we go. We got Wayne here with the Tigers plus 137. Of course, Olympic basketball, Wayne will be covering it for us on the drive-through. They will begin play here on Saturday. There are 5 games on Saturday, probably one of the more notable games. The closest line we see here Saturday is Spain and Australia. Looks like Australia will be favored 5.5 as they open group play.
Yeah, I definitely liking Australia in that one. Australia is one of those sleeper teams. Australia, Serbia, and Germany, 3 of the sleeper teams I see. I know a lot of people are going to be on France and Canada. On paper, they look great. I do think they'll be disruptors in this tournament, but they're a little bit too young, in my opinion. You want to see the names, the USA names mixed with the overseas players, but at the same time, you want to see some veterans on those teams. So with a lot of youth, I'm kind of staying away from Canada and France as far as for them to win it all. I'm looking at teams outside of the USA that's going to bring you great value, and I'm looking at Germany, Serbia, and Australia. I like Australia laying at 5 against Spain. That's a very deep team, a team with some veteranship, a team that plays well together. They can move that ball. They're used to playing that style of basketball.
Yeah, and of course Germany, a team that you were on last year, right? The big dog coming in the World Cup action. They're going to open up against Japan in group stage here. They're going to be a big favorite, as you expect, about 17.5, 18.5 to open it up on Saturday.
Yeah, last year came in around that same number, and they were winning the spread the whole time and got backdoor. They were probably winning by about as much as 21. You know how it gets towards the end of the game where it floats right around the number, and they end up winning by like 15 points. So with that being said, Japan is one of those teams that kind of fights till the end. They do country with a lot of pride. I'm gonna have to take the points with them. Germany gets the win, but I do think they can keep it close like they did last year.
You know, Brazil is a country that has brought some players into the NBA. France recently, they go head-to-head in group stages here on Saturday morning. We see here France going to be favored here. Looks like 13. There's a big spread, 11.5 to 13.5, depending on where you get your line here. Total 161, Brazil-France.
As I stated, France does have a good team, and I'm gonna lay it with France, but I'm just a little hesitant because, like I said, a little younger team, as you mentioned, Brazil does have some quality players. They will be scrappy, but I think France comes out there and tries to make a statement against a team like Brazil. So if they can lay it on them, I think France will have the heart and the type of team that want to go out there and lay it on them and show teams like, look, we're here. But when we get later in the tournament, France is going to be a team that's I'm kind of looking to fade once these numbers kind of flatten out.
These Canada definitely a medal contender facing Greece here in group stages to open it up on Saturday. We see Canada favored 8.5, total about 172.
Yeah, man, I'm rolling with Giannis, man. Giannis is going to make it tough for them. I almost like Greece for the outright, so I'm damn sure taking them with the 8 points. But I'm gonna roll with Giannis on that one, man. I think he goes out there and puts on one of those performances. He does have some good counterpartners with him. He's a prideful guy. I think he comes out there and shows out against Canada.
Yeah, that's again one of the high-profile games. It gets the primetime billing in France. It's 3 Eastern time, but that's primetime in France. There, Greece and Canada. Of course, going back to that France game, they are the home court. How much will home court factor, you think, in this for France in this Olympics?
Oh man, Tony, they should be electric. I think it plays a big role. Majority of time in sports it does, and I think something like the Olympics, it plays a huge role if you can get any type of home crowd advantage, or if you just have a country that travels well.
Yeah.
The crowd, it pumps you up. The crowd, it can also make you nervous when they're going against you. I know a lot of these people are just ball players and can kind of weed through that, but at the end of the day, it's a good advantage.
Yeah, I think you're going to see good travel for obviously these teams based in Europe, Spain, Germany. They will also have support. We know Team USA has support as well. Where it seems that there's a lot of
most definitely,
a lot of jerseys there from these U.S. players in the crowd. So it should be. I think I'm looking forward to it because it just seems year after year the world gets stronger. Right, U.S. team gets better, and so does the rest of the world.
No, most definitely. That Germany and U.S. game, man, they were hyped for both teams. It was electric in there. I can definitely see why there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of chippiness. It's good basketball because you don't get to see that in the NBA until the playoffs. So every game is kind of exciting. Definitely when it's close and down to the wire. A lot of trash talking. The refs are letting them play. It's a fun thing to watch.
Yep, and the players have fun because they're in the Olympic Village. There's a lot of sports going, a lot of excitement there. That's the place to be right now in France for this. Let everybody know the little differences in the rules and of course in the game style here when you get into international competition. Of course, the court dimension is a little different as well.
Yeah, I think the 3-point line is closer. I believe, what is it, on defense, you can sit in the paint. There's no 3 seconds in the paint. So if you got a big like Gobert and stuff, they're not going to call you defense at 3 seconds. It's offense at 3 seconds. Like, you just can't chill in the paint on offense, but no defense at 3 seconds. So there's you can play a lot more zone, kind of have your big sit there. And that's why there's a lot more threes fired up in this, because of that. You can kind of pack the paint and just make sure people can't just drive on you. So those are some of the major changes and differences. But outside of that, let me know if I'm missing something, Tony.
I think the goaltending, right? You could goaltend in international play. And yeah, you can goaltend. Yeah, you can goaltend. Yeah. Goaltending is allowed.
Crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can goaltend. That's something you'll notice a lot. When the ball hits the rim, guys will swap it. The ball's on the directory down, they'll swap it. So you're going to see Gobert and all these guys with they're not going to call it. It's legal to goaltend there. I think there's also around the free throw line, I think it's the players out a little bit, spaced out a little deeper, I believe, as well as the way this dimensions work. So, of course, as you mentioned, it is, again, a team gets hot from three. I will say there's probably a half dozen teams that can beat anybody, because we've seen this in Europe. You get a team that gets hot from three, look out.
Nah, most definitely, Tony. Like you said, and it's guys that you may never heard of them going 4 for 5, 5 for 6, and there's really nothing you can do about it. It's more than Steph Curry out there that can shoot the ball. So it makes it, to me, it makes it exciting, and makes it gives you a kind of advantage that most teams don't have.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out here. Olympic basketball beginning here on Saturday. We went through some of the games. It's wee hours in the morning here. We started, as we mentioned, that Spain, Australia is 5 a.m. Eastern time. So we got so the games will be played at 5-game card here. Also, women's basketball will be mixed in as well. So of course this goes all the way. I think the gold medal game is the day before closing ceremony. So this tournament, basketball tournament, spreads out. It's like soccer. It starts right in the beginning, goes all the way to the end of the Olympics. So I'm after they're playing soccer today, and rugby, by the way. So they're getting some of these sports got to start quicker to get in. But anyway, we got 137 here with the Tigers with Wayne tonight, 6:40 Eastern time. Okay, Wayne is our guy for international basketball. He covers it. I saw a T-shirt that says, a guy wearing a T-shirt that says, "Basketball never stops."
No, most definitely, yeah. Between the summer league and between the Olympic, it's one of the more stretched out sports. It gives you kind of content all throughout the year. In the draft right away, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, basketball never stops, as we know here in international play. All right, Wayne tonight here on the Tigers plus 137. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for tonight's action, because we know it is Christmas in July right now, and lots happening over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, it's been a great Major League Baseball year for Wayne. You see the numbers here, 1,347 units of profit. What do you have going on over at the site?
Looking to finish off this monster day. Smashed my 3-pack today. Like, as I mentioned on yesterday's show, it's been kind of a rough month for me last month in baseball. Had the Pirates run line plus 180. Had the Rockets plus 140. And I have the Angels, looking to see if they're going to close it out. Not sure if they close it out, but they're winning in the ninth inning. How they looking for me as far as Angels, Tony?
Yeah, 2-1, I think, is the last number I got there with the Angels.
Okay. If they close it out, man, that's 3 huge paying dogs and give me about plus 480 on the day with 3 games. As you see my betting style, I still have 2 more games to go. I have my game of the day that has not played yet, and I have another one for my long-term subscribers. So, guys, always get my 3-pack or get my best bet. But long-term is always the best way to go. As these guys have been mentioning, Christmas in July, give you a huge discount right now on my yearly pass. A day like today will pay for a majority of that. Just hitting 3 huge dog payouts like that will, in 3 games, pay for a whole year worth of play. So if I'm your capper, right now is the best time to get that. Don't wait until a month, or don't wait until you see me go have a good winning streak and football on the side to get a yearly. I'm not going to be mad at you, but at the same time, right now is a great time to take advantage of the promotions that Mitch is giving out for you handicappers right there.
That's
But
right.
as far as tonight, best bet is the only thing I have offered as far as tonight.
All right, guys, get on board here with Wayne Scott over at Pick Dawgz. Maybe you see the great results in baseball. No better time to get on board with a 1-year all sports pass. Christmas and July, tremendous savings. Also, the promo code Pick at checkout is also in play, despite the big drastic discounts on the 1-year all sports pass. All right, Wayne, it's always great having your show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. I'll be here tomorrow. Try to find you guys a banger. Not really much boxing. I think some huge fights are mainly in the works. Loma dropped out of the Tank Davis fight. I was really looking forward to that, but they're saying they're going to try to get Shakur Stevenson next. Crawford fights in a week, but nothing else major. Beterbiev and Bivas coming up as well, but nothing else major this weekend, so it gives me time to deep dive on some of these bigger fights that are coming up. So I look forward to getting those to you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Give you guys another banger for tomorrow, and I appreciate you for having me, Tony T.
Now, I will tell you, although it's not as great as back in the Sugar Ray Leonard days, even the De La Hoya days, but there will be Olympic boxing as well.
Olympic boxing is fire. I mean, you got a lot of the champions, the ones who end up leaving, come from Olympics. So the people that place bronze, silver, and gold, they're normally like that. If you can place in the Olympics and you end up turning pro, you normally end up being very good because you're fighting the top fighters in the world. Boxing is one of those sports where you can't really fake it, you can't really hide stuff. It is what it is. If you can go out there and beat the best fighters in other countries, you're normally going to be one of the top guys or one of the guys that end up doing very well when it comes to professional boxing. So the Olympics, I definitely will be tuned in. If I can get some great numbers, boxing's one of the things where a favorite is a favorite. Like most of the time, favorites are minus 500 and minus 1200. But anytime we can get good pick'ems or good plus money on a fighter who has a better chance than the odds giving them, you guys know I'll be out here to give it out for you guys.
That's right, no doubt about that. All right, Wayne, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, Tony T, I'll holler at you, my guy.
You got it. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show. Up next, Rod Zawacki, Major League Baseball from Rod. We're going to get to one of the featured games on the board. Subway Series coverage here from Rod Zawacki. We'll bring him in here right now. Ready to roll here in just a second with Rod Zawacki. Here we go. Rod, what's happening?
Well, not too much, Tony. Enjoying some day baseball and definitely staying cool. Looking forward to tonight's action, so let's get it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. No doubt about that here.
There is a goaltending, and just to set the record straight, there is goaltending in the Olympics.
Oh, there is,
but
okay.
It's not. You know what? Once they make the shot and the shot's on the way down, heading towards the bucket, if you bash it out of the way, yeah, that's goaltending.
That's goaltending. Okay.
That's goaltending. But once it hits the rim, and starts bouncing around, you can bash it away.
Okay.
Unlike the NBA, like once it's back, you have to let it bounce around the rim and fall in. No, not in the Olympics. You can bash it out of the. As soon as it hits the rim, you can bash it out of the way.
All right. That's the way from Rod Zawacki.
And then 10-minute quarters, not 12 minutes.
There you go.
10-minute quarters.
40-minute
so a little
game.
bit less there.
Yep, a little bit less there. So, and of course, we'll keep an eye on that. And of course, Rod here with the baseball tonight. Subway Series action. Mets and Yankees here. The Yankees here, $1.62 now, total 8.5.
Yeah, and look at this Subway Series here. We got Cole on the mound for the Yankees going in. He's starting to put things together. Is Cole on the mound? You look his last couple starts, he's only given up 2 runs in those 2 starts over 12 innings of work. So Cole's been lights out. He's going to have to deal lights out here versus the Mets team that's been smashing right-handed hitting over the last 10, hitting 267 over the last 10 versus right-handed pitching. On the other side of the mound, we got Manaea getting the start for the Mets. And, well, on the road, he's been actually better than what he has been at home this season. 3-1 with a 3.10 ERA on the road has been Manaea this season. And you look at night games, even better. 4-2 with a 3.53 ERA has been Manaea. So I like Manaea here in this spot as the Yankees struggling over the last 10 games to hit left-handing pitching. Only hitting 183 over their last 10 games versus left-handed pitching. Comes down to the bullpens. You look, both bullpens have been solid. Sub 3 over the last 10 games. 8.5 to beat us? I don't think we get the 8.5 here in this one. Cole goes deep. Mania goes deep. We get the under 8.5 in this one.
Rod says go under here, Yankees and Mets. Of course, the Yankees bats a lot of struggles, a lot of pressure now. Juan Soto kind of feeling a little bit, saying, we can't win with two guys. It's a lot of pressure here on these Yankees bats to produce.
Oh, big pressure on these Yankee bats to produce when it's just judging Soto doing all the heavy lifting. Well, it's really tough. Like I said the other day, we got lucky with DJ LeMahieu hitting that home run. It was his first of the season. These Yankees, in the heading down the stretch here, they need some other bats to heat up and get hot. So this is a team game. One guy cannot carry the team on his back and win it all. He can sure definitely make a big dent, as we know Soto's been crushing the ball, but he can't do all the heavy lifting himself. As he says, he tries, but he can't do it all himself.
Yeah, do it all himself there. Rod here will be on the Mets. Yankees go under total here of 8.5 runs. All right. Let's see. We got some time here. We'll squeeze in some of the games not covered here on the drive-through tonight. There's just a few games on the board, but there are some that we didn't touch here. We're getting some games beginning right now. There are several ones, big lines like this one here. White Sox, Rangers laying a bundle total of 8.
Yeah, and this one, the White Sox, a tough spot for the White Sox here. Flexing. What's Flex's record? I think 2-9, I think, are the White Sox in his last 11 starts. Only one way to go. Eovaldi on the mound. I think Eovaldi has a good start. I think Texas. Extendo clip. Give me Texas minus 2.5. I think they beat up on the White Sox here tonight.
And for the extended, we'll get you that plus money there when you do that. All right, we'll continue on here. These games have been covered except this one. Giants and Dodgers. Look at this now. Dodgers now $1.77, total of 8.
Yeah, and you look in this one here, Robbie Ray getting this start for the Giants in that one, right? And when was the last time we seen Robbie Ray? Man, it's been a long time since we've seen Robbie Ray. So I like the fade pitchers at the start when they make their returns, as do a lot of people here. This is a tough spot for the Giants. We know what they've been like on the road batting-wise, so real tough spot. I got to go with the Dodgers to beat up on the Giants again here in this one.
Dodgers are there here to beat up on the Giants. All right, we got your plays there from Rod here. A little bonus here from baseball. So let's take a look over at Pick Dog Premium for nice action. Of course, baseball on the board tonight. What do you have going over at Pick Dog's Premium?
You know, Pick Dog's Premium, I got a couple plays. So one that you can scoop up my 10-star play of the day. We've hit back-to-back winners on it. Looking to make it 3 straight. 24 and 18 the last 42 on my play of the day as well. And then one play in there for long-term subscribers. And it's Christmas in July. That's the best deal going all year long. Scoop up that Christmas in July package. Get 33% off. And get another 15% off your purchase, which works out to be about 150 or so bucks off as well. So join me. $8.50 works out to be about $2 a day all season. And we'll continue to crush the books. Football, like I said, college football has been solid. 3 of the last 4 seasons have been winning seasons. And the only season that was a loss, well, we got juiced out. It was a 52% winning year, but you got to pay the juice on a 52% winning year in college football. So love college football. Can't wait for it to be back as well. NFL's right around the corner. Now's the time. Grab that Christmas in July package. Let's crush the books together.
Crush the books here with Rod Zawacki. Christmas in July. Now's the time to get on board with Rod. This is the perfect time to do it, guys, especially with these great reductions off the prices here. And you can also use that promo code PICK at checkout. That will apply to your savings as well. So get on board. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. So already discounted prices. All right, Rod, as always, great having your show. Continue your success. We'll catch up with you again here on Steak Friday. Got anything else?
Yeah, I got one little bonus for you. I'm going to take Vladdy Guerrero to hit a home run in tonight's action. He's been hot. Speaking of guys that have been hot for the Blue Jays, Vladdy Guerrero has been hot. He's hit a home run in 1 in 4, like the last 5 games. He's got 1 in 4 out of the last 5 games. So I think Vladdy Guerrero, his bat's been hot. Plus 525. Let's get it. Home run players have been good to us this week, so let's get another one.
That's
Vladdy
it.
Guerrero crushes a home run.
From Rod Zawacki there. All right, Rod, have a great night, and we'll catch up with you on Steak Friday.
You as well, Tony. You as well, Pick Dogs fan. Let's get it. Crush it. Let's
Crush
take
it.
that money from the bookie's pocket. Put it right into Oz.
That's right. Rod Zawacki here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. We'll get the recap in just a second. We got time to my pick. We'll bring it in right now. Let's get to my game. It's going to be this one here. Diamondbacks and Royals. We're looking at KC here at the favorite price. KC has been a pretty good home team, a plus 68 run differential, and they're hitting 270 at home. Arizona's bats over their past 10 games, that's 236. Their bullpen has an ERA about 4.5 on the road. Royals have won 8 of their past 11. They're 20-6 as a home favorite. So we'll look at the KC Royals here at minus 122. All right, guys, check out Pick Dawgz Premium. Got a single play up on the board right now. Also, you may consider my long-term passes. My Christmas in July 1-year all sports pass has been reduced $300 for Christmas in July. Matter of fact, you use the promo code Pick It Checkout, you'll save another $150. That's $450 off my 1-year all sports pass when you use the promo code right now, Pick It Checkout. You'll save that off my 1-year all sports pass. Get all my premium plays, cover the major sports free for that 1 year. So get on board. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru, guys. You guys can go ahead and put your show picks into the chat, and we'll read them out. We didn't have a chat pick of the day today because the lines were just too big on the 2 remaining games not covered on the show. Let's go to the recap. Chris was on the Blue Jays plus 106, Marlins for Mitch, Padres for Matt, Tigers for Wayne, Mets Yankees under 8.5 for Rod. I'll go Royals here at minus the 125. That plus money on the Tigers looks good to me here there with our man Wayne tonight. All right, that's going to do it here for this edition of the drive-thru. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring our cappers from Pick Dawgz and Sports Chat Place. We'll go out your plays for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show. We're live here 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time during the week. We got Jay. We got Chris and Mitch will show up as well. Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. His first 5 betting tool show, roundtable discussion with professionals. Also, Ron O'Malley with his MLB Breakdown for Major League Baseball. Wayne with his boxing. Chris with his video picks for you as well. Lots of content here. Of course, remember, we got the parlay videos here, shorts from Jovan. Brad with his Nerfies, Yerfies shorts. And we've got Kirk coming in with his totals from MLB, soccer as well, as we get into Olympic coverage. All right, that's going to do it for you guys. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Before that, let's keep an eye on the plays, show plays here. Bo Dunn likes over 8 in Rangers and White Sox. We've got Giants here, money line for Kellyanne. Mets for Blake, as well as Tigers money line first 5 innings. And what else we've got here? Lando 86, 72 days until hockey. Let's see here. All right, I think we got everybody covered up already. Everyone covered. All right, that's going to do it. So let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Boy, goodbye night to you guys. You guys have a great night.